land of the Olympian gods, home to philosophers and general heroes. Ancient Greece is amongst the most iconic ancient civilizations, and it's no secret that the ancient Greeks were great inventors and even greater storytellers. You may be familiar with the basics of Socrates, Pericles, theater, and sciences, but apart from being the birthplace of many concepts and ideas we still use today, there's more to this great civilization that you don't know about. This video has it all, so stay tuned and brace yourself for some mind-blowing secrets of ancient Greece. So, are you ready for the top 10 things you didn't know about ancient Greece? Well, let's dive right in. Number 10. Ancient Greeks used to add water to their wine. Yes, you heard me, and I know you're like, why would they do that? Well, let us tell you why. While wine was at the heart of ancient Greek culture, it was considered hubris for mortals to get drunk, a habit only suited to barbarians. The Greek even had a god of wine in the pantheon called Dionysus. They believed that only Dionysus could drink wine without water and not get drunk. If the mortal man drank wine without adding water to it, then they'd be in danger of becoming violent and insane. And I bet this reminds you of some of those Saturday nights that you wish you could remember. Well, to the Greeks, it was unacceptable, so they diluted their wine so they could drink as much wine as they could without getting drunk. Or at least that was the idea. The usual ratio was half wine, half water. Number 9. They considered Tuesday the 13th ominous. Inasmuch as ancient Greeks were very wise, they were also very superstitious. Superstition played a big part in their everyday life, and it's Tuesday the 13th that has people on edge all day. While it's commonly known that Friday the 13th is taboo, Greeks believe Tuesday the 13th is to be the day of sheer bad luck. And why? This is because it spoils the notion of the 12 gods of Olympus, 12 months, 12 hours of the day, and 12 of the night, 12 labors of Hercules, and 12 zodiac signs. They considered Tuesday the 13th ominous, so they would avoid important tasks such as sowing or marriage. They also took measures before doing certain tasks so they wouldn't anger the gods. For example, they were praying first before crossing a river. The ancient civilization just took superstition to a whole nother level. If you're familiar with the words chronos and kairos, then you're probably familiar with this. Ancient Greece had two different ideas of time, using two different words, chronos and kairos. Chronos refers to time as we know and measure it today, the chronological time, while kairos was the proper time for action, or should we say, the right time to do something. So, what's the difference between these two measures of time? Well, chronos is quantitative, while kairos has a quantitative nature. Ancient Pythagoreans believed kairos to amongst the most fundamental laws of the universe. In Aristotle's scheme of rhetoric, kairos plays a very important role. For him, kairos is the time and space context in which the proof will be delivered. Number 7. There was one mother for all ancient Greek monsters. If you're a big fan of Greek history, you've probably definitely met some monsters in some stories. What you don't know is that most of the well-known monsters from Greek mythology had the same mother, Echidna. She was half woman and half snake, and together with her partner Typhon, a monstrous serpentine, they attempted to overthrow Zeus for the world's supremacy. That might have been an interesting battle, don't you think? Using his thunderbolts, Zeus managed to defeat them and condemn Typhon by burying him underneath Mount Etna. However, Echidna and her descendants lived to fight future heroes. There's the three-headed dog, Cerberus, guardian of the underworld, Linnaean Hydra, the serpentine water monster that Hercules slew, Chimera, the fire-breathing creature, the treacherous sphinx that would kill anyone that would answer wrongly to our riddle, and Scylla, the legendary monster that killed many of Odysseus' crew during his adventures in Homer's Odyssey. If you're not familiar with these creatures, then it's about time you go get some Greek mythology, because those were the days. Number 6. The Evil Eye Curse. When it comes to superstitions, as I said, the Greeks stand above all. There's one superstition that survived to this day in Greece. The so-called evil eye, kakomati, or the evil eye curse, is said to be attained from receiving a negative glance, usually an envious one, and can be traced back to our serpent-haired friend, Medusa. It's known to be a source of envy and could bring misfortune. It can create headaches, nausea, or bad luck on a much bigger scale. The evil eye is a superstition that still survives in Greece today. In fact, if you stroll around Greece for any length of time, you'll notice that all the gift shops have evil eye jewelry, traditionally blue, which acts as a neutralizing charm against the curse. Even the cars will have an amulet of an eye hanging from the rear mirror to protect those inside the car. Hope I didn't scare you from exploiting the city of gods. Number 5. Ancient Greeks could have been partially colorblind. In his famous works Iliad by Odyssey, Homer describes the Mediterranean Sea as wine dark sea. But if you take a good look at the sea, you'll think it's claret. Homer names only a few colors and uses the same tags to describe objects that look quite different. According to Mark Bradley, Associate Professor of Ancient History at the University of Nottingham, color operated differently in antiquity from what we are used to today. Mark says that the Greeks viewed color as essentially the visible outermost shell of an object. For example, fire wouldn't be red, it was fire-colored. The sky would be sky-colored, and the skin would be skin-colored. They wouldn't talk in terms of abstract colors that we're used to today. Number 4. Greek men used their hair to declare their status quo. In ancient Greece, men's beards symbolized prestige. Their grooming was not only essential but also a subject of competition among men, making the good hairdressers to be desired. In fact, ancient Greece believed that the beard is a symbol of manhood and wisdom to the extent that Spartans punished the cowards by shaving parts of their beards. They considered the hair to be a priceless part that the human body could produce. They believed that the hair gave power to the dead for their journey to the underworld. However, losing hair for ancient Greeks was not a negative thing but an indication of their wisdom. This is why most statues depict philosophers as bald. Number 3. Ancient Greeks had pregnancy tests. Quite unbelievable, but trust me, pregnancy tests are not inventions of modern times. Ancient Greece had a rather unusual method for determining a woman's pregnancy status, and let us tell you how. They would insert a clove of garlic inside the woman's private part. The test would be negative if her breath would smell of onions the next morning. The idea behind this test was that if there were no child, the woman's womb would be unobstructed and the smell would travel up to her mouth. And I still can't wrap my head around that. And it's like that test wasn't reliable because Hippocrates, the great physician, also came up with his own. He believed that the use of honey and water would yield reliable results. The woman would drink a glass of water with diluted honey before bedtime, and the test would be positive if she experienced bloating and cramps during the night. Talk about creative minds? Well, we'll give them that. Number 2. Ancient Greeks used sexual performance aids. That's right, these people were with creative minds. We don't even know why they thought of that, but they did. In ancient Greece, pepper and honey were the ultimate ancient Viagra. Apparently, there were several preparations designed to improve men's sexual performance. A blend of honey and pepper was the most common and, of course, the most effective. The man would rub this mixture on his genitals and the effects would kick in gradually. Is it better than the blue pill? Maybe, but it's cheaper. Number 1. Ancient Greeks used stones for toilet paper. And topping our list is the craziest of them all. This is nothing but mind-blowing. It may come as a surprise to many, but there was no toilet paper in classical Greece. You can argue that toilet paper wasn't invented yet, but there is an endless list of things people from different cultures of the world would use before the invention of toilet paper. We have leaves, sheep's wool and sails, sponges tied to rods, or even plain water. But the Greeks took it to the extreme. For particular hygiene purposes, they used stones, pebbles, or ceramic pieces. It's out of the ordinary, we agree, but as we all know, desperate times do call for desperate measures. And that brings us to the end of the video, and we hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for more of our awesome content. And please give us a like and share the video. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell for timely updates of our new uploads. We value your feedback, and feel free to share your thoughts with us in the comments section down below. And I'll see you in the next video.